We're there. Okay, looks like we made it. So we are actually live on the Old Guy REI channel, and most of these folks are already in Vegas. Looks like Jay is, and Charles was here a second ago. I know Mark's here. Flavio will be coming, I hope, and so that's it. Cool. We haven't done this before, so I'm glad it worked. We're live, Flavio. We're live on YouTube as well.
Because I only see
Hmm?
I only see you one other person.
Okay, yeah, everybody's here. I think you have to slide your
There
screen.
you go.
Yeah,
Pop it in.
you got them now?
And there's three of you. Okay, I'm out of here.
Okay. Okay, so we didn't really have a topic for tonight. I was just wanting to get together in case anybody did have any questions or anything that they're working on this week that they wanted to chat about. It looks like Helix, this might be your first time, and I haven't seen Chris Miller before.
Hi.
Hi, Chris. Hey, let me start with Helix. Helix, can you talk for a second? Oh, that's Wayne.
It's my backup
Okay.
computer.
Okay, good. Are you in Vegas?
I am.
Okay, good. Can't wait to meet you.
Same here.
And Chris, is this your first time with us? Chris Miller?
Yes, it is.
Hi, welcome.
Thank you.
Are you able to chat for a second or are you busy?
I'm not busy.
I was just going to ask where you are. It's the first time I've seen your name. So I think you're obviously in school, and maybe where are you and what do you invest in and how long have you been investing?
I'm in I say mid-central Wisconsin. I'm just starting out. I have a couple properties, but they are inherited properties, and I'm just trying to learn what the best route is to get me out of my, well, I'd like to get out of my W-2. I'm probably around the same age as you, Frank.
Okay. That's not always a bad thing.
No,
Not as bad as I make it sound. So maybe, I'm not sure, have we chatted before? Because we do have a duplex in Milwaukee as well.
I just I think I sent a chat to you through school. That's about
Yeah,
it.
that's right. Okay, well, welcome. If you have any questions or anything, just go ahead and let us have it.
Is Vegas fun? How's that?
This is our second time over the 3 years. We didn't get to come last year, but the event was very, very well worth the time and a lot of fun. And it's really special to meet all of you guys that we get to talk to throughout the year in person. So that's really what I'm looking forward to. The venue was very nice the first time, and I think Zuber's made some improvements over the last year or so. Things that he thought he could do better after the first one. But yeah, it's a good time, and like he's calling it now, the family reunion. So it's really starting to feel like that with everybody that we've gotten to meet and so forth. So Mark was trying to be busy. He said he was doing some kind of work or something, so he'll probably be quiet. That'll be a first. But how are you, Nicole?
I'm good. How are you doing?
We're doing okay. We just arrived a couple hours ago, so we thought it just in time. They just brought our bags up, so I was scrambling to get the computer and everything set up. So it's working out. But yeah, I know Mark went live earlier this morning. He and Joel, hopefully that worked out. He was having some audio difficulties at the time. But we're hoping to do some impromptu lives, like maybe later if we make it to the Denny's meetup tonight, we'll be able to go live from there, and that'll be recorded on the channel too. So if you guys aren't up at midnight, but well, for you, Nicole, it'll be what, 3 a.m. or something.
Yeah, it'll be something horrendous. Y'all need to like shift your times to be a little bit more East Coast friendly.
I was thinking about that today, actually, because my time has always been 6, and I just started it there because, well, just because we're on the West Coast, but a few of the people we started with originally, like Cody is in Wisconsin, so it gets really late for him. And so, if possible, I'd have to check with Zuber too, but maybe we could arrange some special ones to go earlier. That way you guys, can stay awake. We have to try to think of some really exciting topics so that you guys don't fall asleep.
You don't know if Dion's involved. He's always been his voice is just very soothing. And so I've always just like fallen asleep during part of his lives. And I'm just like, all right, good
Yeah,
thing they're recorded.
You might want to mention that to him because he narrated Zuber's book. So you might be falling asleep if you're trying to listen to Zuber's book.
He's also been one I would listen to when my youngest was really little, and he would just like sack out to Dion's voice on the streams. I'm just like, cool, just keep talking and he'll sleep.
At least
You're on
until
baby duty, Dion.
at least till they're a little bit older and they don't need to go to sleep at that time. But that's cool. So, how was your trip out, Jay? Everything went pretty smoothly?
Oh, yep, things were good. I got here yesterday, so yesterday evening, and then so we did a couple things that my wife wanted to do earlier, and just kind of knocked a couple things out.
Okay,
Then
good. Yeah.
then I'm going to take a nap before before the midnight meetup. So
Yeah, that sounds good. I think well, there was 1 or 2 people that fell asleep at Denny's last year from the pictures that got around. I don't know who took the pictures, but there was a few people sleeping in their seats. You mentioned your wife. We were thinking, have you gone to the Mob Museum?
I have not. And last year we were right by we stayed in the Grand last year, and not realizing that most of the people stay in the Grand, but the Mob Museum is right around the corner, and we didn't go there. We did pretty much just about everything. We did last year. Yes, last year was really tiring because we saw all the shows. You could see all went and saw everything. Went and saw the haunted place. I forget what it's called. So
Oh,
so
I
it was,
hadn't heard about that.
yeah, it was interesting, but just all, we saw the Blue Man, we saw, Cirque du Soleil, we went and saw pretty much everything. So this year we're not seeing that much. But Friday we're gonna go to the Excalibur the show with the dinner and stuff, with the jousting and everything.
Ooh, that was good.
So
It was fun.
Have you been?
Yeah, years and years ago, like 13 years ago. But it was fun then.
Yeah, they used to have one near us, like an hour from where we live. It was like the Gold Night or the Bold Night or something, and they used to have the jousting and stuff. That was interesting. Yeah, so we're thinking maybe the Mob Museum. We're trying to do a few things outside of the event too this time. We hadn't had a chance to do that last time. We weren't here as long.
yeah. Yeah, but last year just killed me. I didn't, Dion actually got me sick last year, but I
Oh.
didn't know it. I didn't know it because I was so tired, because I was basically, not only am from the East Coast, so you get here, go to the midnight meetup, was up to God's hour, and then then it's activity all the way through. And, you know, we were seeing show after show after show, Zubers event, everything. And then when I was able to get some rest, I wasn't sure if it was the lack of sleep, or once I got some sleep, then all of a sudden I was like, you know, the realized
Yeah.
I was sick. So
The Vegas
That's-
plague.
yeah.
Yeah. How are you doing, Chris? Was it your wife that broke her ankle?
Yeah, she
Whoa.
had cataract surgery, and literally she was going down 2 steps from like our our main level to our living room, and her ankle. She was a gymnast many decades ago, and every once in a while it randomly gives out. It gave out, so she broke her ankle. So I had to cancel my plans to come out for this week. The first year I missed it, but because like she's taking care of her mother, and B, it's her driving foot. So like, yeah, I'm basically a live-in nurse for the next couple weeks. So, which is fine. I get to keep my
Wow.
wife in bed as much as possible. There's nothing wrong with that. So
Yeah, well, give her our best. We were sorry to hear that.
yeah, I was bummed.
Which Cody is that with us? That's not little Cody. Is that Cody Albright?
Frank, I'm not sure you ever want to call anyone little Cody. I don't know. That's a dicey proposition there.
Well, not because, so we have Cody Evers. Cody Evers is like big Cody. He's our big Cody. And then little Cody is little Cody, that was on with Mark the other. I always
Cody
forget.
Albright here tonight, and this would be the first time in my life I've been referred to as Little Cody.
That's what I was just going to say, Cody. You and our other big Cody. So now they're the big Cody twins, I guess. But little Cody Davis is the one I was referring to, I thought. But he hasn't been on with us before, so that's so Cody, were you planning on coming to Vegas, or you're not?
No, I will not be in Vegas. I got a yard pass to go skiing last weekend. Sorry guys, I wanted to go skiing more than I wanted to come meet
But
everybody.
Cody, where? Like Whistler, Park City,
Uh,
Flagstaff? Like,
we have a family condo in Taos, New Mexico. So
oh yeah,
me and a couple
nice.
buddies just went up there for a long weekend and got our laps in, got a little sunburned, had a couple of beers.
Nice.
Good time.
That
Nice.
sounds like fun. Yeah, and I think well, Ashley's, you're coming, right? I see you there.
Yes, I am coming.
Okay. Mark's waiting for you.
Oh, God.
And Jasek, how are you? Are things looking like they're going to work out?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can now.
Yes, so I just purchased a ticket a few hours ago for tomorrow, so I'll be there tomorrow.
Okay, good. Can't wait.
And it sounds like we got another torrential downpour in Vegas, like last year at the beginning.
Today was beautiful. I don't know if
Somebody was saying crazy rain. Maybe it was on the way there. They were driving there. I don't know.
that could have been, yeah, 'cause we drove halfway yesterday and halfway today, and we got a little bit of sprinkles when we got close, but no rain.
Same here.
Frank, I've been spoiled living on the East Coast. For us, like 2 hours is like a long drive. Like for you guys in the West, it's like
Yeah.
you got way more endurance than we do.
The first year we drove all the way through, it was 8 hours, but we were all excited to get here, so it didn't really feel that bad. This time we broke it up in half, and it still felt long. So we'll see. You might see me sleeping at Denny's. Yeah, I think Mark is still napping. I don't, which is rare because he's usually out somewhere causing trouble if there's anybody out there who will listen to him. And James, you weren't coming to Vegas, right? James, your hand's up. Did you have a question? Your microphone's muted. Maybe not. So Nicole, last time we talked, have you been able to dig into Section 8 anymore? Get any more information for yourself for that tenant?
So I've put together several, like 4 different properties that are comparables, and I'm gonna send that off to them. I hopefully they'll go for it. Otherwise, I'm trying to get the rent up to 1900. So at the very least, I'm hoping for 1800. Just because it is a 3-bed, 2.5 bath. I know they don't take into consideration bath size, but for general market, that does. And so comparables to that. It's just weird because you can find comparables for 1900 and also 1800.
Nicole, what
like
was
the
the
same
profile
area.
again? Bedroom, bathroom? How many? How many?
Three bed, 2.5 bath. It's like 1,300 square feet.
Mm.
What's the FMR on that?
Uh, it. I have found both at 1900 and
No,
at
the numbers that
fair
Section 8
market FMR
fair market rent,
20
the Section 8 numbers.
2150.
Then they'll definitely do the 1900, and you could probably push it up to 2150 because and then they can go up to 10% above that normally. So so depending on the house and everything else, you could potentially pick that, shoot that up to 2300 or so.
Hey Jay,
Yeah.
can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Nicole, I just want to go on a limb here. So she's got three, 2.5, if I heard correct, right?
Mm-hmm.
If she could reallocate that space to do 4, 1.5, would that help her materially? Do you have a hunch on that?
It lifts the numbers up. So yeah. But
I'm just brainstorming, Nicole, but I'm like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I just don't know what I would convert
we'd have to look at the
to.
layout, right? Is it even possible, right? But
I
at the
don't
end of the
think it
day,
is.
yeah.
yeah, because pretty
Just
much they go on
because,
the room counts, so the bedroom counts.
yeah.
But if you could sacrifice a bathroom, shrink down another bedroom, and get another bedroom, how I don't know. If all you're doing is doing some drywall, assuming you're not moving load bearing walls, like that could be a interesting option. Anyway, just brainstorming, Nicole. Things to think
Yeah.
about.
Yeah, I think for that unit, I would actually have to take out a bathroom and convert a bathroom to a bedroom.
But that's not as difficult as adding a bathroom, right? Because you're just sealing up some
Yeah.
plumbing. The issue I think is more: are we having to touch load bearing walls? That's where I think it gets ugly, right?
Dicey.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in the future, that could be a good thing. This tenant she's been there 3 years and has no plans on moving. She has 4 kids and she doesn't want to have them keep moving schools.
Okay.
Yeah.
So is it? I refresh my memory. Is this a place that you just acquired and she's already there? And what was she at?
1695 for the last 3 years.
Yeah, just put whatever number you want, and Section 8 will pay it.
Okay, yeah, because when I talked to the lady, she was like, "Yeah, send me comparables,"
Okay.
and then
Yeah, she
I'll
just
look
has
through
to
the
have.
market myself.
Yeah, she
So I was
just
like,
has
"All
to
right,
have something to show her boss, basically. So if you just send her the comparables, it shouldn't be a problem.
okay, yeah," because I know I get the feeling that this like it's not too hard to work with this housing authority office. Because I know some places can just be difficult, but I have a very limited scope within just the 2 or 3 communications that I've had with
Mhm.
this case manager. So I mean, at this point, I feel like it all of a sudden she could just be like, well, no, we're not going to kick her out and then put it up if you want. I was trying to ask and get a feel of like how many vouchers they have out, but she's like, you don't need that information.
That should be public information.
So yeah, I don't know. She's just not exactly playing ball when I asked. So yeah, I would just have to do some more digging
Mhm.
myself, which I haven't been able to do. on
Yeah,
that.
I would just set a number and stick with it, and
Yeah.
they're not gonna relocate her. There are a lot of people where I'm at that will they don't even look at the FMR number. They just shoot the rent up, and Section 8 just accepts it. And
That'd
like
be
with
nice.
the one Section 8 that I have, I mean the FMR is like 18 something.
Mhm.
Which of course that 18 something is supposed to include the them, include utilities and everything. Well, they're paying 2,100 and the tenant pays the utilities. So I wouldn't worry too much. They,
Okay.
just set a number and a lot of times they'll accept it. So
Okay. That is good to know. Because I'm also marketing the unit next door, and that has been interesting. I've gotten 3 bids off of Facebook,
mhm.
for I guess prospective tenants, and 2 of them don't qualify for with the 3.5 times rent. And then the other one is a 19-year-old with no credit, which that doesn't necessarily bother me. She just doesn't have any credit cards. She's been too young to really have any credit cards or have a long enough credit anyway. Um, but she has 3 ESA animals, and I believe is on,
Right.
yeah, I have another
Run
unit that
away.
has
Run
ESAs.
away.
Yeah, no
So,
ESA.
so I don't necessarily mind ESA, but I think
But
there does need to be a law about 1 animal per person. A person, and I have struggled with like severe anxiety throughout my life, and nobody needs 3 ESA animals for 1 person.
Yeah,
I
no,
get like
yeah,
no,
having an ESA per person, and there's like 3 people in your family, and they each have an ESA. Okay, I can understand that. I can get on board with that. But 3 per person, like, come
yeah,
on, guys. Now
no,
you're just trying to
no.
get animals in.
Yeah, no legitimate doctor is gonna okay 3 ESA animals. They will okay one. You can challenge the ESA because it's obviously false. It's obviously, um, there's like you said, there's no reason to have 3 and no legitimate doctor is gonna okay 3. And if they are ESA animals, you would need a copy of the doctor's, stuff. And for us, we can deny somebody based on the ESA if it's not a doctor that there's their normal doctor that they see.
and is
So,
local. I know some states say, I've been digging into this because I've seen this increasingly in the last like 6 months. Like a lot of states will say, hey, it has to be from a local doctor in the state. So it can't be some internet certificate or internet quack.
Yeah.
And by the way, we're going to submit it through I read an interesting comment. The guy's like, I tell him I'm going to submit it through my attorney. And if for any
Hmm.
reason it's forged, there will be, there's consequences of forgery, right? And submitting false claims, right? So, and he said that
That's a
has
good idea.
eliminated 85% of his ESA claims right there. And if they're real,
Huh.
I mean, look, I've got a wife who got nailed by a car on her cycle and she's got this TBI. And it's like, Yeah, if they need it, fine. I agree with you though. I think
Yep.
3 is freaking ridiculous. And by the way, that will trash your property. It will totally trash your property.
Yeah, yeah. Two of them are cats and one's a dog. And I'm just like, I feel like I've personally heard a lot of horror stories about cats. And so I'd much rather just have dogs in units versus cats. But that could just be because, you always hear the bad things and people rarely talk about the good things that are happening. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but
cats can be okay if you take care of them. But sometimes male cats will spray, and there's things that can kind of happen. But if they're taken care of, it's usually not too much of a problem. But the problem is that, most people, unfortunately, most people don't take care of their animals the way they should.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Nicole,
Like,
hopefully you have another interested tenant, and that way you can just choose that person. So
yeah, I mean, it's still early. I just listed this property like 2 days ago. And so far I'm really not worried. And I'm on like a 5 year, I have a 4.75 interest rate on a 5 year interest only. And so
Nice.
my other unit pays for the entire duplex right now. Just that one side. And so if I have to wait through March, I will, because I'd rather have a solid tenant in there than somebody I'm gonna be regret putting in. Especially since I would just not be making income, but everything would still be covered. So
Yep, it's cheaper to have the right tenant in there and wait than it is to place the wrong tenant and have
Mm.
problems. And I saw Helix had made a comment that he's got a cat in one of his units, and they turned the walls into scratching posts. So that can happen.
ouch.
That can happen.
yeah. Not looking to do any drywall repair right now. So I already
Not
have
if you
to
can
get
help
2
it.
trees trimmed. So
Yeah, it seems like even if you were able to take that out of their deposit, if they did several doors, it would go beyond what their deposit is probably.
yeah, I already
Yeah.
charged like a $2,000 deposit um to over, and then that rent is 16.95 as well. And then I charge a per pet fee, and then like to move in, and then pet rent, like $35 pet rent on top of that. And so I'd be decently covered, but that could all go down the drain really fast.
Yeah, not if they're ESA animals.
And yeah, if
I
there is ESA animals, half of that is gone.
yeah.
So
Mhm.
Nicole, I did read something, and I'm not a lawyer, I just play one on TV. I did
mhm,
read something, and this is for your Salt Lake City properties.
yeah,
Yeah. I did read something that the only other thing I would add is there is an exemption, there is an out on the ESA. It's a super tiny loophole. If it causes material issues on your financials, meaning like if they're like, oh,
yeah,
my pit bull or my Doberman Pinscher is my ESA. If your insurance company says, yeah, we're going to like jack your rates, then, or that's a prohibited animal or a prohibited breed, like there is that avenue as well. I've not
yeah.
explored that. I've, I've done a little bit of research, but that's the only thing I could say would be worth considering as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I've thought about that, the undue financial burden,
Yep.
Yep.
which that
Which
would,
basically means it might be in your interest to pursue a more conservative insurance company. Because if
hmm
yeah, if you, I, I I don't know. I've gotten the ESA card played on me a pretty nominal amount of, because we don't have a lot of turnover. Like, and it's not been a major issue. It's been a cat. It's been a small dog. It's been fine. But I just hear the horror stories of like, I mean, 3 ESAs. Like, I'd rather leave the unit vacant than do 3 ESAs. That's just my humble opinion, right? Now, a dog and 2 cats, okay, maybe like, but if somebody says, hey, I've got 2 dogs or whatever, because the other thing is that I've had incidences over the last 2 years where in a multi-unit, dogs attacked other tenants' dogs, and then dogs attacked other tenants, and then
Oh,
other
no.
tenants' dogs trying to defend their owners have attacked, this tenant. And I would spare you that grief. And look, I own a dog kennel. Tonight we have 75 dogs in the building, and dog lover. I've got 2 daughters in vet school. Like we're big animal folks, but
Yeah.
but I think large number of animals and large animals is a dangerous, either any of those concoctions is a dangerous thing. So just
Yeah.
be careful. Be careful.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
And
kind
like
of
one of
dog?
my other tenants, they have 3 dogs as well, but in their ESA, but there's 3 of them and they each have a letter from their doctor assigning that ESA animal to its owner
Yeah.
and giving it like a license to its owner. And I'm like, all right, that is reasonable. Like,
Yeah.
Maybe.
Nicole, just some other things to maybe think about as you're walking through this. I've added the loophole to all of our leases that if you have an animal, regardless of whether it's an ESA or a pet, we
Mhm.
require proof of rabies vaccination,
Mhm.
because that's a legal requirement where we're at. So I would even look
Mhm.
up in your area and see like, are animals required to be registered? Are they required to have rabies? And I would add that
I
to
bet
your
they are.
requirements.
Cody,
Oh, that's a good idea.
that's brilliant. No, I
Mhm.
say it because we have a dog. We own a dog kennel. It's a recent development, but in Pennsylvania, the law is you have to have your every dog in PA has to be licensed, and part of the licensing process requires rabies. Not just the note from the vet that says, yeah, I stuck him with the I jabbed him, but also like a rabies certificate, which actually says like uh what lot number, who manufactured the vaccine, what was the expiration date, like, and that's interesting. That's actually not addressed by the ESA stuff. So it could be just another barrier, another thing to say, hey, if you're really serious, like you got to meet both state and federal requirements, just to make sure they're honoring it.
Yeah, and if they're a good pet owner, like what I've
Yeah,
found is like
they
the
got
good
that
pet
down.
owners are like, yeah, I'll have that over to you in 24 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the people that are like, oh, I need to go to my vet and get it. I'm like, well, you haven't been taking your animal to the vet because
Yeah.
that has to be done
Yeah.
every year.
But Cody,
and then-
you raise a really interesting point. Like, like if federal law says, yeah, you have to have an animal, but like they don't get a rabies vaccine and you got other animals, which by the way is a state violation in our state. And then you have other animals that in the building who might, like that you could be endangering. Like, wow, I got to process that. That's a interesting situation.
Yeah, and then the other thing that I recently picked up, there's a guy in a adjoining area to where I'm at who he has a leasing company, and they've recently started doing basically a pet addendum to all their leases. I'm assuming you should probably be able to do it with the ESA as well, but this kind of gets to the point of like BS ESAs versus like a real ESA. Is that
Mhm.
basically that pet addendum allows them to remove that animal from the premises immediately if either the owner or the animal violates any like local or city ordinances.
Oh.
That's
Okay.
a great idea, Cody. Holy cow.
And so you
I'm gonna
could do that as well with the condition of your unit. So, you could say, hey, we're gonna do quarterly inspections, and if you go in there after 3 months and the dog or the cat is tearing up this unit, uh, I would think that's going to give you some grounds to either have that animal removed or cancel that lease. So
Mhm.
just some food for thought.
Yeah, you
Good
should be
thinking,
able to.
Cody.
You should be able to remove the animal if they're causing damage. So in here in New York, where they're super strict on all that stuff and everything, as far as, you know, you have to take an ESA animal and you have to do, you know, all this stuff. If there's any damage, it's not an ESA animal anymore and it has to go. That's one of the things that at least they give landlords, even though they force a lot of crap down our throats with a bunch of, with all these different laws and stuff that they pass. At least they give us, you know, if they damage something, if they're, you know, you can remove them.
Mm-hmm.
So in that the rabies and the vaccinations and stuff is brilliant, because most people who are, you know, doing the fake ESAs, they don't take care of their animals, you know.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant, because, you know, now you've basically got them, because, you know, it has to abide by the law. It has to have the shots. It has to have everything. And if they've just proved to you that they're not taking care of the animal before they moved in, then obviously, you know, it's a no-go.
Yeah.
And to that point, I think Jay just mentioned it, but Cody said it too. Like, I don't know if you want to word it pet addendum or just animal addendum, because some people will say that's not a pet,
It's not a
that's an
pet.
animal. But like, if the dog is running in the back and just pooping all over the place and they're never cleaning up after it, that got to be listed in there, that you still have to maintain the
Yeah.
property, take care of the dog, make sure everything, I mean, whatever the animal
Mhm.
is. But if you say for a pet, they may say technically this is not a pet, this is an emotional support animal and stuff. They still have to take care of it. So that should definitely be listed in your addendum, whatever, your animal addendum.
Mm-hmm.
And she could make an ESA addendum, you know,
Yeah.
call it an
And-
ESA addendum.
And also with the
Mhm.
addendum, I would suggest, making sure that you add that they have to have liability insurance for the
Yeah.
pet or the service animal.
Yeah.
Is that covered under the renter's insurance, or is that a separate policy? Anybody know?
Usually it's separate. Well, it's under the policy, but you have to specifically say that you have a pet.
Hmm.
Because in some
have to
areas,
research
there's
that.
restrictions on dogs.
Okay.
And you
I'll have to
can
research
call
that.
it
I don't know the answer. Yeah.
non-human biological resident addendum.
Okay. Cody's playing the lawyer, or Cody and Jay are playing the lawyer, is what I'm hearing.
There you go. Lots of good info for you, Nicole.
I'm not a lawyer, but I
Yeah.
did stay on a Holiday Inn Express last night.
But playing one on TV and staying at a Holiday Inn. Nice.
Yeah, I play one on the internet.
Yeah. I've been writing it all down. I'm sending myself an email.
Yeah, also dog breed, for instance, that
Mhm.
becomes important. As Cody had mentioned, there are a lot of, if your insurance policy said, let's say they got a pit bull and your insurance policy has restricted breeds, you can deny an ESA animal based on that restricted breed. Now if it's a service animal, okay, which they should be able to present paperwork that it's a service
Mhm.
animal, then, you know, then you can't restrict anything. But
Yeah.
you know, but most service animals, are restricted anyways. You know, but I have seen a lot of people that will stick a vest on that says it's a service animal, and I know that they're not.
Yep.
You know,
Yeah. A mastiff is not necessarily going to be a service animal.
right? And they should be, if they're a service animal, they are 100% trained, and they should be able to present the training, the documents for the training. And you know, if the owner tells the dog to sit or stay, whatever, you know, any commands, and the dog doesn't do it, it's not trained. It's not a service animal.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
a horse. You can have small horses as service animals too, but
Really?
And
Yeah.
pigs,
Well, I
right?
got to
And
get me a
chickens
Shetland
and-
ESA then.
So
It seems like more and more insurance companies, at least in our experience, have been doing away with a list of breeds that they won't insure.
Mm.
yeah, a lot of
When,
times it's the bully breeds that they'll put in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, when it's probably been about a year and a half or two, we did call, and there was a list, like you said, pit bull and other aggressive breeds, but then recently we did the same thing and the insurance company said, no, we don't have a specific list. And I don't know how they check, but they were checking for any incidents of aggressiveness or things like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's
I could answer
available
that one
everywhere.
for you, Frank.
Mhm.
Because my dog's got a criminal record.
Oh.
But
Yeah,
he's such a goodest boy too.
Oh, he's a great dog as long as you're not a chicken, a cat, or a squirrel. But one of our dogs unalived a neighborhood cat, and we got visited and were given a citation for that incident, unfortunately. So they do actually, when they show up, they'll actually fill out a report like a police ticket essentially, and then that kind of gets tagged to your address.
Yeah, I
Time
had a
to move.
customer a long time ago that had the same thing. He had a couple of really big dogs and they were kind of, I guess, like Newfoundlands, but they got out and were playing with a cat and
Oh no.
the cat didn't live. So we had to go in and, fence off their whole property. And like you said, they had a record now. And so other people in the neighborhood had complained, obviously. So it does get to that extent, but
Yeah.
like Chris was saying earlier, if they're,
Man, they should go out and meet some farm dogs.
yeah,
They those dogs don't give two craps.
yeah. Let's see. Oh, I was going to check in with Paul. It's been a while since you've been here. How are things going for you guys? Are you still there? We probably, I think we're going
I
Go ahead.
am. I'm having a trouble with my mute. Well, we'll see you in Vegas.
oh,
Things
good.
have been a little bit slow. We're just we're just starting to look in new markets. It looks like we're kind of poking around Detroit right now,
Okay.
and that's kind of where we're at. See if there's anything that meets our criteria there.
And on the property that you guys were working on, did you get it to the point that you could get some money back out of it? I know you were trying to
Yeah,
get to
we-
the point to be able to refi.
Yeah, so we it's a short-term rental for folks on the call. It's in the Sierra Nevadas. Yeah, we finally finished it. The deck was, oh my God, probably $35,000 more than we had originally estimated. So that was a pretty painful experience.
That was a
But
huge deck, though. That was big.
it's a big deck, and the challenge is they changed the snow rating where we're at. It had to have a higher level of snow rating.
Oh, okay.
So I mean, pretty much the deck is holding the house on the side of the hill now.
Yeah, pretty beefy foundation on that one.
Yeah. So
Was there concrete involved in that, or just?
oh
deeper
yeah, there
face
was. So they have concrete piers. Yeah, I can show you pictures of it in Vegas, but it's on the side of a hill.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, awesome. Well, we'll be glad to see you guys again. I was going to tease Jen and tell her we have to drive 9 hours to see her instead of going 1 hour to the meetup. And Kevin, you have tenants now? Are you there?
Hey Frank, yeah, we got our tenant in place.
Good. And is it a regular long-term tenant, or what did you end up doing?
Oh yeah, that's right. It's a long-term tenant. It's just a single person that's living in there, and she does have an ESA animal. But yeah, it's just one person in there. Not too bad. We lowered the rents just a little bit to sort of get someone in there. And she tried to negotiate a little bit, so we gave her a little bit of leeway, and she seemed like a she's actually a landlord herself, but she moved from Arizona out to San Diego. So, and she has family close by. So, yeah, seemed like it was a good fit, and she might stay there and she's well aware of the ADU that we plan on building. So it seems like, like I said, some tenants are sort of iffy when they find out that, hey, there's going to be building next door essentially. And so we like the fact that she actually had, we sort of gave her like a neither here nor there, but probably going to build it situation. And she's like, okay, well, yeah, it's not a big deal. And, I just let her know that it will be in communication and have, heads up, of course. But yeah, I'm sort of at the stage right now where I'm trying to refi out of the bridge loan. So we're going through that process right now, and then have the funds available for the ADU essentially on the back end, and just about to think of ideas for concepts, I should say, for plans, for the permits and for the build. So I think at this stage, we're looking to sort of because we're trying to have another 3-2 on that lot, trying to make it feel like a lot larger. So it's sort of just gonna be like an indoor outdoor sort of mid-century courtyard to make it feel a little bit larger.
Nice. Well, congratulations on all that progress.
Thank you.
Is your lender anybody we know, or
Yeah, actually, Mark, I got in touch with Mark, and then he'd referred me to another one of his Nexa buddies.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so we're just going through. I did speak with let's see here. So I spoke with Conventus, who's the what I have currently for my loan. They would have gotten me the rate, or the interest rate that I was sort of looking for. We're at like 6.8 right now. And so that would have been okay, but then we wouldn't have been able to pull any cash out. Just based on it's essentially just going to be a DSCR. That's why it was like a 0.8 or something. But when we talked, and actually I spoke with Jonathan at Convoy, and sort of a weird situation, but it almost felt like he was, too busy to handle us. And so, yeah, my experience with him has been sort of, not the same as Zuber's. Yeah, and then we spoke with Mark, and he referred me over to his guy out in Texas, I guess, David. So yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
And I got my first maintenance request. It was a leaky faucet. It was a leaky bathtub. So that was not too bad. It was sort of a 8 o'clock at night, tenant calls or not calls, but she texts me, and then I tried to handle it right away. Thankfully I had my plumber sort of on call.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Yeah, but he was like, oh, it's warranty. He's considering it a warranty because it's been within like the year since he was the one that actually did the work. So
okay.
Yeah, it was just like a loose cartridge with some debris in it. But yeah, anyways, he changed that out and just said no charge, but I was just gonna tip him.
Oh, that's nice. That's great. Yeah, that comes up a lot, once you're rehabbing stuff and nothing's really being used until the tenant goes in, so you think you're all set. You're not going to have anything to worry about for a while.
Yeah, exactly. It was a full remodel, so I'm like, what could possibly pop up, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, but she was good about it. She was just like, oh, I told her where the shut off was. She turned off the water because it was, like a slow, consistent leak.
Okay.
And she just said, okay, I'll just, deal with it. And I said, yeah, I'll get the plumber out tomorrow. And, it wasn't a crazy emergency. So
Uh-huh.
just referred back to oh, is there fire? Is there blood? Is there,
Yeah.
okay. No, I think you're good. I think we're okay to try to handle it tomorrow. Just shut it off. Yeah.
Well, that's good. And I think one last thought. Since she is a landlord, I wonder if that will be easier on you or harder on you.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to. I was trying to figure that out too, but she seems good and at least well intentioned. So it's a learning experience for me to being a landlord. So, um, you know, and this is our first rental, so it's not like it's there are going to be some kinks to go through to get through. So,
Yeah.
all just a learning experience.
It is good though. Most of your stuff, well, all of the stuff is new, right? All the way down to the studs you went.
Oh yeah, yeah. Even the studs were treated with termite. There's orange oil that they had to spray all over and inject it in all the studs.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. But yeah, so far so good.
All right, right. And
Just-
are you going to be in Vegas?
No, I won't be. Got the two kiddos. The semi newborn. She's now 4 months old, but
Oh, right. I forgot. Yeah, cool.
yeah. I decided to go against the grain and do everything that Zuber told me not to do. So, oh, you have a kid? Yeah, having a kid and doing a full-on rehab
And a rehab,
and doing it, not quite out of state, but 500 miles away or whatever it is. I'm trying to hit all the boxes to try to prove him wrong, right?
Yeah, yeah. Well, if you got through all that, the rest of your career is going to be as just simple as can be.
I'm trying. Yeah, I'll do a new build too. So everything's new.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Great to hear from you.
Kevin, I just want to add something. I know you said you might be building an ADU there, where your tenant just moving in.
Yeah.
My neighbor across the street, they actually the people next to him, they were building an addition to their house, and I guess we're unearthing all the dirt and everything.
Yeah.
They started getting a lot of mice in their house and everything. So it might be something you want to think of before you start doing the big project to see if you could do some, I don't know, rodent repellent, or if you got to put some kind of treatment down before. Because I know a couple people who told me that whenever there was construction being done close to where they live, they started getting a lot of mice coming into the house. And I guess because now they're moving everything around for where the construction is, so those mice and stuff got to find a place to live or move to or something. So just a heads up for you. That way she doesn't start coming to you saying, hey, we're getting all these rodents coming in here or something. So
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's an empty lot right now for the most part. I mean, there's grass and stuff, so and there's some vegetation. So we'll clear and grub it and sort of go, put all the weed barriers and all that kind of stuff. Pre-emergent.
Cool, man. Good luck to you, brother. That's cool.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thanks.
I think we're gonna stop here. I think we're gonna try to go get some dinner, but we'll look forward to seeing whoever we can when you guys get here, and whoever's here already. We're looking forward to meeting you.
Frank, will you? I know some of us are going to be not there. Some of us are going to be on school, but if you take some just notes about your highlights from the thing, you could share with us next week. We'd love to get that perspective. It'd be super valuable for us.
Yeah, we'll do our best. I think.
I know it's a whirlwind. I totally get it.
Yeah, I think since we were there year one, I think it might be easier to do now that this is year 3. So we'll let you know. But we'll look forward to seeing you next week. We'll be home on Tuesday, so the meeting will still happen.
Talk then. Bye. See you.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you guys soon.